Welcome. My name is Omer Ahern Jr. and I am the District 3 Grafton County Commissioner, and this is my periodic report to the people of District 3, which includes the towns of Plymouth and Holderness and Hebron and Campton and Rumney and Dorchester and Bristol and Bridgewater and Canaan, and basically all the towns in the southeastern part of Grafton County. And here we are at the end of the year. Today is Wednesday, December 27th, and we're at the end of the year, calendar year, but we're in the middle of the county's fiscal year. So I'm going to just talk, generally about how things are going at Grafton County, what's going on, some of the things that we're looking at into the future, and to just let you know a little bit about what's going on. And just at the beginning here, just to let you know, if you need to contact me, I have my new law office over in Wentworth, New Hampshire, on Mount Moosilauke Highway, and my telephone number there is 764-6024. 764-6024. And if I'm not there, you can certainly leave a message. So, I'm one of 3 county commissioners in Grafton County. I serve with Commissioner Wendy Piper from the town of Enfield. She is the District 1 county commissioner serving the city of Lebanon and the towns of Hanover and Enfield. She is also a past state rep, as am I, and we also serve with the present chairman of the county commissioners, Linda Lauer, who serves the folks from up in District 2, which is the northern part of the county and the western towns of Grafton County. And I serve as the vice chairman of the commission. Wendy Piper is the secretary. And as I've said before, the primary job of the county commissioners in New Hampshire is to oversee and provide the proper management for, in our case, we have a 135-bed nursing home, we have a 150-bed correctional facility, pretrial confinement and house of correction, 150 beds there. And we also have a farm and woodlands operation. We have about 700 acres of woodlands that we manage for timber harvest at the appropriate time under a approved forestry management plan. And we also have a outstanding dairy herd. We're very, very fortunate to have these resources in Grafton County because the income from the farm helps to offset the taxes a little bit, but it also, the other important thing the farm does is it provides some employment opportunities and opportunities for the inmates from the House of Correction to blow off some steam. So if they're out working outdoors, even in this inclement weather, it's a good thing for them to be working. Our last meeting was on Tuesday, December 19th. And according to the agenda, and I was there for that meeting, started at 9 o'clock, and Tom Andros, the Director of Communications, came in and requested approval from the commissioners to apply for a Homeland Security grant from the federal government in order to continue working on a 3-phase plan for improving communications within Grafton County, for improving communications among first responders, fire, law enforcement folks, in case there is a catastrophic event that needs to be addressed in Grafton County. So we're trying to simplify and improve and make the communications among law enforcement and the Sheriff's Department much more efficient and safety conscious. One of the things that our Sheriff's Department does is we're actually responsible for patrolling the Connecticut River, which that is the boundary between the state of Vermont and the state of New Hampshire. So we have a boat at the county complex. You know, it's in a garage there, and the High Sheriff of Grafton County, Doug Dutile, has a couple of deputies that, when necessary, they're out there patrolling the Connecticut River on the Grafton County side of that. So the commissioners approved that application for Homeland Security funding. It's several thousands of dollars that would be coming to help improve communications. Then we had Mr. Jim Oakes come in. Jim Oakes is the maintenance supervisor, head of maintenance for the entire county complex. We have a 25-acre complex that houses or provides the buildings. The county courthouse is up there, which also houses the circuit court up there. County courthouse is where, Superior Court, and they have civil and criminal trials up there at the county courthouse. It's also where the Department of Corrections facility is located, a brand new correctional facility. Again, pretrial confinement in the jail, and sentenced inmates for less than a year and less than a year or less in confinement at the House of Correction. Also have the 135-bed nursing home, which has a dementia unit. The Meadow unit is the dementia unit. I think there's about 35 beds there in that part of the nursing home. And then the nursing home building also has the administrative offices for the county, where the county attorney has offices. The maintenance department is in the administration building. And the IT, information technology folks, are also housed in the administration building. And then, of course, we've got the barns, the dairy barn, the hay barn, the maintenance building, all ancillary buildings, all supporting the work of what we do in Grafton County. We also have a wood-fired heating system that heats all of the buildings, the courthouse, the administration buildings, the farm buildings, the maintenance building, with wood chips. And that's a relatively new facility, which saves the county hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in not having to purchase heating oil. The Department of Corrections building, on the other hand, that is not heated by the wood chip plant. The original plan for the Department of Corrections facility was to have a wood-fired heating system, wood chip heating system, but that for reasons that are outside of my purview did not happen. The correctional facility is heated partly with a geothermal system and also with a propane system. So when Mr. Oakes was in, he was talking with us about the bids that we had received to replace the forced sewer main at the correctional facility. Again, we have a 25-acre facility, all served by this sewer lines that ultimately ends up in the town of Woodsville's sewer system, sewer plant. So that's going to be about a $220,000 project to replace all of those sewer lines. And the bid for this work was awarded to an outfit out of Vermont. And I'm going to see if I've got that piece of paper here as to who got that bid. And they were a small company out of Vermont, and unfortunately I do not have their name right here at my right at my fingertips. You'll have to forgive me for not having that here as, there were 5 bidders, and again, it was an outfit out of Vermont, right on somewhere on the Connecticut River. that got that bid, and I'll bring that to your attention. But that project will be starting probably in May or June of this year. Half of that project was funded in this year's fiscal year's budget, which will end on June 30th. And then the other half of the funding will come in, hopefully, this year's fiscal year, which will begin July 1st. But that's all going to be talked about beginning in late January when we start working on our budget for fiscal year 2019. Then we also had on December 19th Laura Saffo, the county attorney, and she gave us a brief update on what's going on with the county's concerns about the Northern Pass project. At the same time, at that same meeting, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Conway Village Fire District because county is responsible for law enforcement issues on any unincorporated towns within Grafton County, and in the unincorporated place known as Livermore. That is an area kind of off the Kangamankas Highway, and the Conway Village Fire District has a lot of, is in a position to better respond to any issues, safety or emergency issues on that part of the Kangamankas Highway. So we have an agreement with them now to provide services. They provided the services, but there was never any money paid by the county, and the Conway Village Fire District insisted that the county have to pay them if they're going to do any calls out there. And we have worked out an agreement which is very similar to what the town of Lincoln has with the Conway Village Fire District. And it will be $250 per hour. That's the rate that the county will be paying, 2-hour minimum, and it's from portal to portal. And so that's the memorandum of understanding that we have regarding the unincorporated place of Livermore. Then we also received some very distressing news from our health insurance provider for the county, and we were advised that we have, for the 2018-2019 fiscal year, and this is the New England Employee Benefits. They are telling us, the New Hampshire Interlocal Trust, they are telling us that we can expect, are you sitting down when I tell you this, folks, a 41.69% increase in our health insurance premiums for the employees and our retirees at Grafton County. An increase of 41.69%. So that is something that's very, very disturbing. We're going to be looking at some other options to see about getting that figure either reduced significantly or finding a new health care insurance provider for our folks up there. We do provide, the county does provide very good health insurance for its employees and its retirees. We did have some good news on that day. Beginning the 1st of January, the Medicaid reimbursement rate, Medicaid is welfare, but we have quite a Medicaid population in the nursing home. And so our Medicaid rate of reimbursement has gone up as of the 1st of January, $2.51. So the county will now be paid $175.46 per day for every Medicaid resident. And we have probably 120 or so Medicaid residents in our nursing home. $175.46 is much less than what we have for a rate at the nursing home, but that's all the feds in the state are going to be willing to pay. So that's what we're up against. The tax receipts and the tax anticipation note that we had to borrow, basically all of the towns have now paid their property taxes to Grafton County, so we don't have to, we can retire that tax anticipation note, and that's a good thing. So we appreciate all the towns in Grafton County paying their property taxes, which ultimately you folks who are, you know, the taxpayers, the property owners, paying your town taxes. And again, on your tax bill, as you all know, there is the town or municipal portion, there is the school portion, which is the largest part of your tax bill, the school district, and then there's the county portion, which is the smallest part, and then the state also has now a tax based to help pay for some of the tax, some of the services that the state provides. I think they're education related. So we thank you. I thank you to the taxpayers of Grafton County for paying your taxes. We also received a periodic financial report from the county administrator, Julie Libby, and she. This is that package of materials that we received from her probably on a monthly basis, just to keep us up to date where we are with the budget. Are we overexpended in some lines? And if we're overexpended, will that come back into proper place as we go on in the fiscal year? For example, the Information Technology Department, most all of the contracts that we have to have in order to run the software at the county complex, that Information Technology Department is the glue that holds that whole complex together. They provide, you know, all of the computer expertise to run, you know, the software, and, you know, for the nursing home, medical things, the county attorney's office, our administrative offices, and the Department of Corrections. Brent Ruggles is the Information Technology Director for Grafton County, and he has two outstanding young men that work for him, Barry and Joey, and the three of them do fantastic work to keep everything going. And it's amazing when we get our report, monthly report from Mr. Ruggles, some of the things that he has to address. So we're very fortunate to have Brent Ruggles as our Information Technology Fellow there. In fact, we're very blessed to have the department heads that we have there are just all outstanding people. Tom Elliott, Superintendent of the Department of Corrections. You know, he has a facility that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, unless it's a leap year, and then it's 366 days. I mean, 24 hours a day, he's got to keep that facility running smoothly. And Mr. Elliott does a great job with the Department of Corrections. We're very lucky to have Tom. Tom is a Marine, and we appreciate his service to our country over the years. Of course, Julie Libby is the county administrator. She's the numbers person, and again, she's the person that the county commissioners address weekly when we have our meetings, and she kind of keeps us informed of what's going on an overall basis, even though we do meet with the department heads once a month at our meetings. Nancy Bishop, a one-person department. She is the social resources. She handles all the Medicaid, Medicare numbers for the nursing home, and she's our go-between between the state Department of Health and Human Services and what we have to pay out for the nursing home residents, Medicaid and Medicare. She's a fantastic employee. We're very lucky to have Nancy Bishop in that department. And again, just very, very fortunate. Talked about Brent Ruggles, the information technology supervisor. He does a great job with his people. Talked about Jim Oakes, the maintenance supervisor. You know, Jim's responsible for keeping this entire facility going because the nursing home also runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You know, we have employees coming in and out of that county complex, shifts, you know, 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 7 to 3, and we are now getting into some 12-hour shifts, something that some of the employees had requested. We found that when some of the employees, RNs, LNAs, and other professional staff, that when they were leaving, one of the things that they said that they felt would be very helpful for them if they ever wanted to come back was to have these 12-hour shifts. So I actually brought this to the attention of Craig Labor, the nursing home administrator, another fine, outstanding nursing home administrator. We're very lucky to have Mr. Labor. Incidentally, Mr. Labor is a graduate of St. Anselm's College out of Manchester. That's where I graduated from a long time ago. Actually, I think I graduated from St. A's in May of 1976. I think Craig probably graduated back in the 1990s. So I did get a phone call from one of our employees, an LNA, and she thanked me for bringing, requesting and trying to push along the nursing home staffing coordinator to provide these 12-hour shifts. So they're very, very happy. Kind of running out of time here. Two things I want to mention. The county commissioners, we don't have anything to do with the passage of legislation. That's up to the legislators, also known as the county delegation. In this neck of the woods, District 3, are members of our delegation that I deal with, and specifically here in the Plymouth, Hebron, Holderness area, is Representative Steve Rand, Representative Suzanne Smith, and Representative Travis Bennett. You folks need to talk with these state representatives if you're concerned about the county budget going up again, and from all accounts that I can see, the department heads are going to be requesting more money. Just looking at that health insurance premium increase, 41.69%. We've got to address that, but every year the pressure is on to increase the county budget. You need to talk to your state representatives. They're the members of the county delegation that ultimately vote on what the budget is going to be. In the town of Campton, it's Representative Tiffany Johnson. Over in the Canaan Grafton area, it is Representative Steve Darrow and Representative Bob Hull. You need to talk with them. We have a new state rep serving in Bristol, Bridgewater, and Ashland, Representative Vinnie Migliori. He just won in a special election. And certainly over in the Rumney area, Representative Mays. You need to talk with Representative Mays about getting the budget under control and reducing the county spending. They're the only ones that can ultimately make that decision. So you need to contact your state representatives. Also, Representative David Binford from up Bath Way, he's someone that you can talk with. The chairman of the county delegation is Representative George Sykes. He is from town of Lebanon, and if he's the chairman of the delegation, he's an important fellow that you need to talk to if you want to have any hope of getting that budget reduced, because that's the delegation that makes that decision. One other, kind of on a sad note, on a somber note, I just want to remember here the passing of a loyal, longtime public servant from here in Plymouth. Carol Elliott passed away recently. Carol served the folks in the town of Plymouth as town clerk. She also served the people of Grafton County as the Register of Deeds for many years, and she also served the people of Grafton County as the county treasurer for a couple of terms. Carol also served with the Plymouth Water and Sewer District. Carol was a tremendous public servant. She will be missed. She was a hard-working person who really looked out for the taxpayers in everything that she did. And Carol was a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine. I can tell you that Carol will be missed, and we express our condolences to her family. And again, just want you to know that Carol Elliott will be missed. And you know, our county and our towns are, you know, are left a little bit less better helped because of a good person like Carol passing away. Carol, Godspeed. One other thing is a piece of legislation, a couple of pieces of legislation in the hopper that pertain to Grafton County. And one of them is put in by State Senator Bob Guida from Warren. State Senator Guida put in a piece of legislation that would allow Grafton County Complex to no longer be under the sole source of electricity coming from the town of Woodsville. We need to be able to go out onto the open market and find a cheaper source of electricity. We're paying a lot for electricity every month up at Grafton County. Just to run that geothermal system that heats the county Department of Corrections building, that electric bill alone, just for the geothermal system, 12 months out of the year, heating in the winter and cooling in the summer, $10,000 a month just to run that geothermal system. So talk with your state reps, and please tell them to vote in favor of this legislation that will be eventually coming their way in this legislative session, so that Grafton County can get out from underneath this sole source of electric provisions for the county. That's basically what I have for my report today. I kind of promised Andrew here at the PBTV that I wasn't going to take a half hour. I don't know where the time has gone. Again, there's just so much that's going on. The county does so much for so many people in the nursing home, the alternative sentencing program, the Department of Corrections. We just have a lot of very good people. We're very blessed to have the employees that we do have in Grafton County that provide such wonderful care for the residents in our nursing home and provide good supervision in the Department of Corrections, maintain our roads and parking lots in this inclement weather, plowing the snow, putting out the sand and the de-icer where the ice is, so that it's a safe place. You know, the Registry of Deeds is up there in Grafton County, so it's a fantastic operation we have up there, and we're very proud of our employees and our department heads. Folks, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Hopefully you will all have a blessed, joyful, and prosperous and healthy new year. And as we go forward, God bless America. God bless the great state of New Hampshire. And thank you very much. I'm Omer Ahern, and I thank you for your time today. And if you need to reach me, I'm at 764-6024. Thank you, and good day.